On April 29, 1945, the Dachau concentration camp in southern Bavaria, Germany, just 13 kilometers northwest of Munich, surrendered after 15 hours. Jamie Peter, an SS leader known as the Assault Chief, agreed to the camp's surrender, along with its over 500 men, before Brigadier General Henning of the 42nd Infantry Division of the United States Army. The SS commander in charge of the location, Martin Weiss, had fled upon learning of the imminent arrival of the Americans. The scene that greeted the Americans was horrific, with thousands of prisoners in advanced stages of malnutrition and extreme diseases. Dozens of train cars loaded with decomposing corpses provided stark evidence of the cruelty humanity can inflict. This event also posed a psychological test for the first soldiers encountering such a situation. Although this story has been heard many times, there is an aspect related to the liberation of the Dachau camp that is not widely known to the general public. It was initially concealed by the United States Armed Forces even more than 70 years after the end of World War II. This story is still shrouded in mysteries and contradictory accounts. It may never be known 100% what happened. If you want to understand and explore the different versions that fuel this controversy year after year, stay with us as we will discuss the massacre at Dachau, where American soldiers executed dozens of German soldiers who had already surrendered, and where liberated prisoners took the opportunity to seek revenge on their own. The afternoon of April 29, 1945, saw the American troops of the 42nd Infantry Division passing through the small town of Dachau on their way to Munich. They immediately sensed something was wrong, especially due to the nauseating smell. Some soldiers thought they were near a chemical factory, while others believed it was from burned trash or animals. However, they discovered abandoned train cars on the tracks, and further investigation revealed a total of 40 cars. Opening the doors of these cars, they found over 2,000 piled-up corpses, along with thousands of living skeletons who had survived the atrocities of Dachau. Although there was knowledge of a Nazi facility in the area, the expectation was that it was an SS training camp or a conventional prisoner camp. The discovery of an extermination camp of such magnitude was unimaginable, and many soldiers could not bear it. This is where the violent events and disagreements related to the Dachau massacre begin. But why did it happen? According to the testimonies of the soldiers present during the liberation, the accounts of events vary considerably. One example is the statement of Colonel Howard, an American doctor from the 45th Division, who asserted years later that over 500 German prisoners of war were mass executed by American troops. Another description came from the Jewish historian Brandstar, who indicated that some Nazis were cornered and immediately executed, along with their dogs. General Dwight D. Eisenhower himself issued a statement claiming that his forces had liberated and cleared the infamous concentration camp, releasing around 32,000 prisoners and quickly neutralizing hundreds of SS guards. However, the most well-known testimony might be that of Brigadier General Felix Sparks, one of the first officers to enter the camp. According to him, he ordered 50 German soldiers to be confined in a partially enclosed area normally used for storing coal. This area became a site to confront a group of SS guards who had not yet surrendered. Hearing screams and machine gun fire, Sparks rushed back and prevented the continuation of the massacre. The soldiers responsible claimed that the prisoners were trying to escape, but Sparks didn't believe them, especially since the corpses were lined up against the wall. Years later, Sparks would write about the incident, stating that it gave rise to rumors that many of the captured Germans were still armed and were executed. The total number of guards killed that day at Dachau did not exceed 50, with 30 likely being the most accurate figure. Months later, after various testimonies exposed the situation, the U.S. Army initiated a confidential investigation that only became public in 1991. This process nearly led to a court-martial for all involved, including Felix Sparks and Howard Gardner. However, all charges were ultimately dismissed by General George Patton, and the investigation did not result in actions. The magistrate in charge, Colonel Charles Decatur, concluded in late 1945 that while it was likely that there were violations of international laws given the conditions the first soldiers faced, justice or equity did not require undertaking the difficult and perhaps impossible task of assigning individual responsibility. It is crucial to mention that the victims of the Dachau massacre were not only executed by the hands of American soldiers. Numerous testimonies claimed that prisoners took the opportunity during the confusion to seek revenge among the guards, targeting the most sadistic ones. These executions, unlike those perpetrated by the Americans, happened with punches and using various objects at hand, such as sticks and clubs. Valente Lenardic, prisoner number 391,272, commented on the situation and the dead Germans. As revenge, all these years, we were only animals to them until we were reborn. A woman SS officer had ordered them to kill all prisoners before the arrival of the Americans. That's why when they came so quickly, it was really like our second birth. After 6 years, the liberated prisoners ceased to be numbers and became known by their names. At the end of this video, it's time for you to take the lead and answer the following question: what do you think of the actions of the Americans who executed German soldiers who had already surrendered? Do you agree with the outcome of the investigation? Leave your comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications to receive these and many more videos about military events that left their mark on history. Thank you very much for following us, and we hope to see you in the next video.